ए लक रहेछ नि त
यो पो त अटो डिलिट है किन के भयो
फर्की खिचेको छैन
के भयो ओरिएन्टेसन कहाँ
तपाईँको
लक
सेटिङ
भएको
उयो भएर छ
होइन
मलाई मेरो फोनमा सिकेको छ
कुन चाहिँ अरू हुनुपर्ने यस्तो खालको हुन्छ यस्तो हुँदैन हौ यो त पोर्ट्रेट हो नि त
त्यही त
अर्को हुन्छ नि अझै ठुलो हुन्छ त्यो
यो हो
यहाँ छ होला हेर्नु
हुँदैन यही हो नि अटो रोटेट हो नि त यो
अँ
के गर्ने
एकपल्ट
मेरो फोन कल गर्छस्
मेरो त छिटो
अब तिम्रो फेरि सेटिङ मिलाउनु पर्छ डल्लै फेरि
यसो गर्नु त हुँदैन लाइभ गएन
लाइभ त
दसजना लु यसलाई पठाइदिउँ न
बोलेको छ हामी उता
उयो पठाइदिउँ न त लिङ्क कसरी गर्छ लिङ्क सेयर है
सेयर
हुन्छ ल ल ल
नभन नि त भन्दा मिठा खास
ल वेल
के हो प्रब्लम के अफ गर्नु लाइभ त काट्नु भएन नि त अन्त काट्यो भने फेरि रिसेट पो गर्नु पऱ्यो अन्त हो
हुँदैछ त त्यतिकै यसरी हेर्नु पऱ्यो
ल म मेरो फोनबाट हेर्छु तिम्रो फोनबाट हेर न कस्तो हो के हो ठिक हो नि भएको त होइन हो तर लेक्चर सुन्ने त हो होइन ल किन हो फेरि खालि मिलाइदिनु अब एकछिन कथामा बस्नुपर्छ बस्नु न यहीँ बस्छ कहीँ नजाऊ तिमी बस तिमी छपक्क यहीँ बस्छ न तिमी कहीँ नजाऊ ल अन अफ गर्नु तिमी अहिले फेरि के ल
ओके ल ल धन्यवाद
Very good morning, respected Dr. Mahesh Pradhan, Coordinator IQAC Southfield College, our eminent speakers today, teaching and non-teaching staff of Southfield College, and respected teachers and the school teachers and the college teachers representing various colleges of peers, dear students. On behalf of Southfield College, I, Dr. Sujata Baraidi, from the Department of Geography, would like to welcome you all on the lecture on Understanding Physical Landscape Cries from the Himalayas. This lecture has been organized by Department of Geography in collaboration with IQAC Southfield College and in partnership with Happy Valley Tea Garden. So we would like to start our program with traditional light ceremony. So may I request our eminent speakers and coordinator Dr. Mahesh Pradhan to kindly come forward and light the diyas and inaugurate today's program. May I request Dr. Mahesh Pradhan, retired Wing Commander Rao, Dr. Arindam Chaudhary, Dr. Sunam Lama, Dr. Kavita Lama, Dr. Shikha Subba, and Mr. Vishal Chhetri, Head Department of Geography, Southfield College. Thank you. Now we would like to welcome our guests and speaker. Now may I request Dr. Mahesh Pradhan, Coordinator IQAC, to kindly come up on the stage and preside over today's program. So we have with us today an eminent speakers to enlighten us on the various issues related to Himalayan region. May I request them to kindly grace the dais. First of all, may I call upon retired Wing Commander Praful Rao, President Save the Hills, to kindly come up on the stage and grace the dais. Next, may I have the honor to invite Dr. Arindam Chaudhary, a research associate at the Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, Dehradun. May I have the privilege to call upon Dr. Sonam Lama, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Darjeeling Government College. Now we are very privileged to have two of our ex-students from Southfield College, formerly Loreto College, as an eminent speakers for the day. So may I call upon Dr. Kavita Lama, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Government University, Malta, West Bengal. And next, may I call upon our very own Dr. Shikha Subba to kindly come up on the stage and take the stage. Now we would like to welcome our guests by offering them khada and memento. May I request Mr. Vishal Chhetri, Head, Department of Geography, to kindly offer khada and memento to our guests. Praful Rao, Dr. Arindam Chaudhary, Dr. Sonam Lama, Dr. Kavita Lama, small correction, Dr. Kavita Lecture. Dr. Shikha Subba. May I request Mr. Vishal Chhetri, Head Department of Geography, kindly take the seat. And may I, so please kindly take your seat, Vishal sir. And may I request our students to offer khada to our head of the department, Mr. Vishal Chhetri. Now may I request Dr. Mahesh Pradhan to present a small token of love, that is the tea from the beautiful tea garden of Happy Valley. Thank you, sir. Now, may I request Dr. Mahesh Pradhan, Coordinator IQAC Southfield College, to deliver a welcome speech.
Very morning to all. Warm welcome to all distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, teachers, and students gathered here today. We are honored to have such eminent scholars and experts in the field of Himalayan studies with us to discuss crucial topics concerning the region, environment, and societal well-being. With presentation ranging from tracking glacier changes to exploring the impact of glacier lake outburst floods on river basins. Today's symposium promises to shed light on pressing issues facing the Sikkim and Darjeeling Himalayan region. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Arindam Chaudhary, Mr. Prafulla Rao, Dr. Kavita Lepcha, Dr. Sonam Lama, and Dr. Shikha Subba for sharing their invaluable insight and research findings. Your dedication and expertise are instrumental in advancing our understanding of mountain ecosystem and their vulnerabilities. To our faculty members and students, your presence here underscore your commitment to academic excellence and engagement with real-world challenges. Your contribution and participation enrich our academic community and inspire us all. Let us seize the opportunity to exchange knowledge, foster collaboration, and chart a path toward the sustainable solution for Himalayan region. Once again, I welcome and thank you for inviting us today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I request Mr. Vishal Chetri, Head Department of Geography, to introduce the theme for today's lecture, that is Understanding the Physical Landscape Cries from the Himalayas.
Thank you. Respected Chairperson of today's program, Dr. Mahesh Pradhan, Coordinator of IQAC, Saltwater College, Darjeeling, eminent speakers, faculties from different colleges and teachers from different schools, and my dear students. Before I shed some light on today's theme, I think it's very important to understand the nature of our discipline. The discipline of geography suffers from very intense dualities or dichotomies. One of such dichotomies that exists in the discipline is that between the physical versus human. There has been a long tradition of viewpoints and conflicting arguments regarding to the main domain which the discipline of geography tries to explore and study, although this tradition of debate between physical versus human can be traced back to the classical thoughts of the Greeks, yet its development in the modern times can be traced back to the early modern thinkers. This debate starts with the publication of a book, Geographie Generalis, published in 1650 by Bernhard Veron, also known as Varinus. Even the great philosopher Immanuel Kant, during the early 18th century, used to deliver lectures on physical geography. But this dualism became more profound in the start of the early 19th century, when geography witnessed very two eminent geographers of that time, the works of Humboldt and Carl Ritter. Humboldt, he was very keen on understanding physical aspects of geography, whereas Carl Ritter, he was once the professor of history in the University of Frankfurt in 1880, and he later joined as the first professor of geography in the University of Berlin in 1920, where he wanted geography to develop as a humanities. His concept, the Erdkunde, he states that as the body is for the soul, so is the physical globe for humans. So he wanted geography to evolve as a human geography. Throughout In the history of the discipline, if you see, the scholars and geographers have been divided into two camps. They are often very critical of each other and argumentative against each other. The main criticism of the physical geography leveled against human geography is that the human geography lacks universality. Therefore, it cannot develop principles and concepts which are universal in nature. Whereas the humanistic school in the thought of geography, they say that without man, the nature or the physical aspect ceases to exist. Yesterday, as I was talking with Dr. Arindam Chaudhary, he was telling me that in European countries nowadays, in different institutions, the discipline of geography has been divided into two distinct departments: Department of Physical Geography and Department of Human Geography, where the scholars and the students are trained into their own domain and into their own principles. But as a student of geography, it can be both physical or human, who tries to understand the nature and study the landscape. Can we offer to isolate and divide the two? Here I would like the audience to remind of the address given in 1939 by Harshal, where he said that the landscapes, they are neither truly physical nor human, but they are composite in nature. So when we go for studying human geography or human landscape, a part of human geography, we have to understand physical aspect, or we have to understand physical landscape. Because this is very important. So when we are going to study the physical aspect of our surrounding, when we are going to hear the tales of our surrounding region, of our surrounding landscape, so that tale talks about exploitation, mismanagement, and utter disregard to the environment. So this land use pattern which you can see over here, the stories of mismanagement, underutilization or overutilization, and degradation of the landforms, can be seen as the outcome of two processes. One which operates at the local and another which operates at the global. This global nature has to be understood in a very proper historical context. The degradation of the landforms, especially of Darjeeling Himalayas, started when this area was acquired by the Britishers in 1835. From 1840 onwards, you can see there was mass clearing of forests, and which had given way for plantation agriculture, as well as building of urban centers. This degradation during that time can be understood in context to its history, has to be understood in context to its history. Because that was the period of European domination. The Europeans had dominated each and every part of the world. They wanted to tame the nature and the man. And they believed in superiority of European science, European civilization, and European culture. So therefore they wanted to dominate. So this domination has brought into existence severe drawbacks and severe problems which we are facing today. So this has to be understood in a proper context. As Dr. W. Hunter, in his preface to the statistical account of the district of Darjeeling, he states that among its spurs and valleys, European enterprise find lucrative fields for tea cultivation. In its primitive hill tribes, furnishes deeply interesting materials for the study of Asiatic races. Its ores and minerals open up a new mining era in Bengal. So this mindset was still prevalent when this town was being developed, as has been recounted by Mehermet lecture basically says that the barracks, today's barracks, which is opposite to the supermarket, where big stalls are present. So previously there used to be a depression, and that depression contained a glacial lake. So she says that when the Britishers wanted to construct the barracks, they salted everything, they salted the area, so that the land would become infertile. And they termed it as killing of the land. Sadly, this killing of the land, the colonial pattern of land use, has continued even today. Our landscapes is being vastly modified, deeply fragmented, and rapidly being changed without any regard to fragile geomorphic and ecological changes or ecological realities. This changes operates at the local level and affects us at large. The two lectures delivered by Dr. Kavita Lecture and Dr. Sonam Lama will try to deeply understand and address these issues and are very relevant to them. The second process which operates at the global level is that of the climate change and global warming. The Himalayas, as you know, including the islands and the coastal areas, are at the forefront of climate change. One of the key areas of such impact is seen in the retreat of glaciers and melting of glaciers and formation of glacial lakes and expansion of it. Last year's incident is one of such example of one of such impacts that operates at the global scale but affects the local area. Dr. Arindam Chaudhary's lecture and Professor Rao Singh's lecture will tend to give some insights into such phenomena. Lastly, since the hill communities are adversely affected by different vulnerabilities which are arising both at the local level and at the global level, so the question arises, are our societies prepared to face such disasters? Are we resilient to such events? So this question will be answered by Dr. Shikha. Some of the talks today that will be presented over here may be too technical and difficult to understand. Some of the talks may be very informative and may be relished by everyone. But there is a story in the Bible about the sower, and I believe that the seeds which will be sown today in forms of this nature will definitely fall on the fertile grounds. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your address would definitely set a perfect platform for our speakers to deliver their presentation. The Himalayan landscape holds immense ecological significance as it harbors a rich biodiversity. However, the human interference like deforestation, infrastructure development, climate change, etc. are threatening the delicate ecosystem. So today we have with us an eminent speakers to address such major issues responsible for hampering the ecological integrity of Himalayan landscape. Now may I request retired Wing Commander Praful Rao to deliver his lecture. He'll be talking on impact of GLOV on the Tista River Basin, a tale from Darjeeling Himalayan region. But before his presentation, I would like to give a brief introduction about him. Retired Wing Commander Prafulla Rao belongs to Kalimpong and founded the NGO Save the Hills in September 2007. Since then, Save the Hill has emerged as a leading voice in disaster risk reduction and issues in Darjeeling, Sikkim Himalayan region. He has participated in hundreds of seminars, workshops and awareness programs, starting from the grassroots level and in the Northeast as well as at the national level. He was also a member of NDMS team, which brought out the National Landslide Risk Management Strategy in 2019. Now, may I request Sir to deliver his presentation. May I request all the dignitaries to kindly take their seats in the auditorium.
morning, everybody. Can you hear me? At the back? Is the mic working? Good morning, everybody. My deep thanks to Southfield College for inviting me over. Vishal, thank you so much. And also I'd like to thank the principal. My greetings to everybody here. I think everybody's from Department of Geography here? Or is it? No. Great. So I particularly welcome the young kids. I was just telling somebody here that there's such a big generation gap between, of course, between me and the students, but I find there's a big generation gap between me and the faculty here. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm so glad to be here because this is the second time I'm addressing people from this podium. The last time I did so was in 2009 when we organized the first seminar on landslides. Darjeeling mein Professor Leszek Starkel from the Polish Academy of Sciences. He was the world's leading geomorphologist who used to come every year. He used to go to Ambote. Ambote landslide we didn't know. It was by accident that I discovered that he comes every year. And then after that we got him here, and that was the first time that he came here. We had an interview, and of course, Professor Leszek Starkel is no more. He passed away 2 years back. But I do have his autograph book, which I treasure, by Leszek Starkel, and a whole lot of bunch of papers that he gave to me personally. It happened here. So I'm so glad to be here. A brief introduction of myself, because my name creates a lot of problems. I am from Kalimpong. I am Praful Rao. I am not from Andhra Pradesh. I did, not quite for it. So I did my studies there. I did a little bit of my studies in Mount Amun also. So I know, I spent, I think, about 7 years in Darjeeling. So I know Darjeeling backwards. Yeah. And of course, I formed Save the Hills a long time back, 17 years ago, I think. 17 years ago, we formed a group called Save the Hills, and we've been working on the landslide problem, okay, mainly the landslide problem. But what we do also is that, there was a disaster, there is no point going there 10 months later, okay. So what we've done all the time is that whenever wherever it is possible, in Darjeeling and Kalimpong certainly, but I can't go to Uttarakhand of course, because it's too far away. But what we try to do is record the event as soon as possible, okay? So when this GLOF occurred, GLOF is for Glacial Lake Outburst Flood. Arindam is the person who is an expert on it. And I'm sure all the eminent young speakers are also very much experts at their own fields. I am not, I'm a Fauji. I'm actually a Fauji, so my only qualification is that I'm interested. Like you people should be. The young people should be interested because this is your home. You better be interested in what's happening around your home, right? So that's my only qualification. So when this GLOF occurred, the Glacial Lake Outburst Flood, what I decided was to record it as soon as possible. And it occurred on the 4th of October, but I maintain a blog, and the blog, so I have to keep updating the blog. So because it happened at okay. This is what a GLOF is, a lake, okay? A lake formed by a glacier which is melting. Arindam will give more information on this. But glacier can make okay. So when that lake, for some reasons, it can burst, okay, then that can release a whole lot of big volume of water, which is what happened now in October. Okay, I think I was told that this is the largest GLOF which has taken place in the Himalayas in the past. I'm not sure, but this is what what was told to me by scientists. And if it is so, it is so sad that our bluff, which occurred in the Teesta Valley, was ignored totally by the mainstream media, and we have our own selves to blame for that, and also by the central government as well as the state government. The West Bengal state government didn't even declare it a disaster. Sikkim did, but then again, within a couple of weeks, 2 weeks I think, they released all the people from the relief camps, etc., and it was back to normal. There was no extra anything given for this thing. So this is the type of glacial lake which is formed up in the Himalayas, all over the Himalayas, but mainly around us. Okay, and this is what happens. The lake can burst at times, and you can have devastation, which is you can see on the left hand side, right? And this is exactly what happened in October. The lake concerned was South Bonak Lake, okay? And you can see, who closer to this? Okay, please, all the timing, okay, this is where you see, this is Nepal, this is Nepal, this is our area, and most of the lakes which are about to burst, I think Arindam will have a better picture, are around here. That is around Nepal and Sikkim. Okay? Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan are the areas where these drops are likely to take place, the glacial lake outburst parts. Okay? And this time it occurred here. Okay? Okay. Okay, these are maps which, these are images which are taken from Google Earth. I think all of you know Google Earth. Okay, and you can see here the size of South Bonak Glacier in 2010 and 2022. Okay, you can see I put that red spot there. Okay, that red spot is the constant thing, and you can see how far the lake has gone backward. Oh, your lake is glacier this is what is happening, that the water is increasing. And you can see the amount of water, the increase in water levels in the 12 odd years which the photographs span. Okay, next. Unfortunately, these slides are never clearly visible on the screen. But what I'd like to tell you is that South Bonak Glacier is way up there. Okay, South Bonak Lake. Okay, the first place that it hit, the major place, is this place called Chungtang. Okay, and these red spots are where we went. These are the places where we went and took photographs, interviewed people. We did not interview hundreds, but certainly 50, 60 that are affected people. We were interviewing them, taking pictures, and all that. And these are the places that we went. Okay, there are some 20 odd places, maybe more, because we couldn't put it on the map. Like say Rampur, if we go to Rampur, then we go to another place called Manbing. Okay, so that Manbing we couldn't put here, and so on. But then what happened was that lake, as far as I know, okay, and we interviewed a whole lot of people in Chungtang and all that. That lake burst on 3rd of October 2023. What time is still a bit of a question mark, but I think around 10:30 at night. 10:30 at night, and way up there's a place called Ranak. That is where the ITBP, the Indo-Tibet Border Police, was there. They first noticed that the water is increasing. This river here is called, this is river is of course the Teesta River, but up there are two rivers there. Chungtang, there are two tributaries to Teesta. The one on the left hand side in blue is called Lachen Chu. Chu is Tibetan water. Okay, so this belongs to the Lachen tributary. The other side, which goes to the right, is called Lachung Chu. Okay, Lachen Chu burst, the glacier, the lake burst on Lachen Chu and came down this way. The distance between Ronak and Chungtang is about 72 kilometers. 72 kilometers. The altitude difference is 17,300 feet up there, okay, at South Ronak, and Chungtang is 5,500. So within a space of a distance of say 72 kilometers, the water descended almost 12,000 feet. So you can imagine the velocity of the water which hit Chungtang. Okay. Of course, what happened there was that the big dam, which is that 12,000 megawatt dam called Sikkim Urja Dam burst. Okay. There was no chance for the dam because we saw that area. It's like a funnel. The entire river comes into the funnel and the dam is on the other side of the funnel. Okay. So the dam burst, but people have continuously said it is because of the dam that the devastation took place. But you will be surprised to see how much devastation was caused by the cloth itself. Okay. What the timeline is something like this, that 10:30 or so it happened there. Zanak the ITBP people reported it. Okay. The first they came to know about it in a place called Lachen, a small town in North Sikkim. At about 12 o'clock or slightly earlier than that, okay, this is on 12 o'clock night, 3rd October or 4th October. Then Chungtang, I put again the clock, it was about 12:35. 12:35, I'm more or less sure about, because I interviewed the army guys over there. The Lieutenant Colonel, he was there at the spot, and he told me that 12:35 is the time that this clock hit us. Of course, hitting and then the river rising was two different things, because the river was so huge that it took maybe an hour for the full volume to go into that area, right? So I'm not talking about the rising part, because that's the time that the river hit Chungtang, okay? And after that it came down here, it did massive amount of damage all over. One of the things, again, which I would like to correct, thanks to the media, it has largely been called Sikkim flood. It is not a Sikkim flood, it is a Tista Valley flood. And because it has been called a Sikkim flood, everybody goes to Sikkim, all the attention goes to Sikkim. The thing is that in Kalimpong district, pura damage answer. Not only in Kalimpong district, perhaps in Jalpaiguri also. Because what happened also was that above Chungtang, there was a place, the army guys had a place, it's not a secret anymore. Besides the 21 odd soldiers who died, that was in a place much lower near Singdam. But then in that area in Singdam, they had a huge ammunition depot, which was totally written off. And that took bomb or fire, exhaustively. So they call, what they do is, wherever they locate these things, they call the army the bomb disposal unit, and they come and dispose. Okay. So that is about this. Next, please. I'll just rush through it because there are many other speakers. Okay. This is the lake. Okay. Satellite picture of the lake. This was before the lake burst, and there you can see the black area is after the lake. Okay. So approximately 50% of the water went down. The lake, if you just convert that hectares into acres, it was 413 acres. The water. After the water leaked out, not leaked out, came out, what was left was approximately 149 acres. So approximately 300 odd acres of water into that depth came out of the lake within that short. I will take back all my words if Arindam contests because he is the expert on it. Right? Next. Okay, this is a picture of the graph. And it's key, as soon as the graph occurred, of course, I was trying to verify the information because this whole thing was taking place at 2 o'clock in the night. I got the information at 2 o'clock at night, 2:22, that graph bio. At 2:22, nobody is awake. Just trying to verify this information took a long time, in fact, the whole of next day also, because there are so many rumors floating around you cannot publish something which is not verified. So I took a whole lot of time just trying to find out कि के भयो भनेर त्यति बेला किनभने rally भएको यो 2:30 बजी and there was so much of confusion where people are saying this यो भयो त्यो भयो just couldn't verify. And as usual, government people are negligent. So you can't get any information from Sikkim government, you can't get any information from NHPC, nothing. Okay, there's just rumors that people are posting things left, right, and center on Facebook, etc. So it took a lot of time. But then this picture was taken on the 4th by one of our young photographers. He works with me. He said he's going down. I said, go and do your thing because I'm stuck up here. So this is a drone photograph of the glove which took place on the Tista. Okay, it was taken from the Tista bridge. This is, he's here. Praveen took this photograph, and you can see that the road to Darjeeling is already underwater. Here's a pioneer view. And this was taken by at around 11 o'clock, mind you. 11 o'clock, the river already started going down. The peak river was at around 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, when the Darjeeling Road, Tista Bazaar was, part of it was sunk. Okay, next. Okay, another thing which people say is that there was a cloudburst. I contest that because, of course, IMET also contested. IMET is Indian Meteorological Department. But I contested because we save the hills. We monitor weather day. In fact, during the monsoon, etc., we monitor it 3 times a day. And this was the clouding that was taking place that day. Was 3 times of clouding area. You say these are the convective clouds. I think the geographers know what convective clouds are. These are clouds which give a lot of heavy rain. These are the clouds which have thunder, lightning, etc. Yeah. Okay. So these are the clouds which are clouds, and you can see that they are all around Kalimpong, Darjeeling. Okay, the rainfall record also you see. Kalimpong we had 147 millimeters of rain on 3rd. Darjeeling we had 120 millimeters of rain on the 3rd. Look at Mumbai, which is in North Sikkim, 2.5. Look at Songkhalan, 3.9. There was no heavy rainfall in the North Sikkim. So I'm 100% sure that it was not due to the crop which took place was not due to a cloudburst. Most probably it was due to a landslide. It could have been due to an avalanche. There are rumors that there was also an earthquake, but I don't think so. Next please. Okay, so the impact on human lives, just to mention this because this is important. Why did not get our disaster which took place in the Tista Valley, did not get that much of importance from the national media or from the government? Is that not many people died? Okay. Sad that unless people die, people won't send their reporters, the government won't wake up, etc. So, I think, yes, people, thousands of people could have died. Thousands of people would have died. Because that is the bad it was not some great early warning system that we had. They informed each other. So people from Lachen informed somebody in Chumda. Some Mama informed Banja in Tola, Gilpala. So this is the way that the people survived. They kept informing each other. Whole night they were informing each other. The police played a big role. Sikkim police, we went and interviewed. They said, "Sir, our यहाँ कम से कम 8 जना family से सब कोई land जो बनाले, हमारे police ने बचा." Right? So this is the type of thing, information that was shared. It is the community helping each other, and that is why the number of people who died was around 200. Okay, 200 people, not a disaster, nobody cares. The media didn't report it. The biggest disaster, biggest rock in the Himalayas was totally ignored. But that was mainly because it had limited fatalities, which was good. But then a lot of people lost a lot of things. Okay, that is not considered a disaster. Okay. Also, what we certainly been more than 200 is because, I mean, if you got a heavy, we used to go and ask people, who there is you, Hola, Pogar, there are Tinjana Boston, there are Hola, you teach a So there are a lot of contractors who had contract labor. Those contract labor were being paid by the contractors. Most probably they were paid and the holding deal was settled. That figure never came out in the 200 of people. So that is another thing, right? Okay, so one of the impacts of the on people is that if you go to Tista, if you go to Chittam, or if you go to any of the places in the river valley, people, entire livelihoods depend on the river. Many of the people are being rafting, that has stopped. Many of the people who are doing, so all those young men who are involved in rafting, livelihoods are gone. Many of the people who are doing this quarrying, so there are a whole lot of people who are unemployed. Unemployed people, and they are now migrating. So this is one of the biggest impacts which we noticed in the river, because the river gave the livelihood to. This is a relief camp in Rampur on the 6th of October. Relief was pretty well managed, by the way. Let's face it. It was managed quite well by the party, by the government, etc. People were evacuated. People had already run away to higher levels. I think the planning or planning go up in the higher levels. At least they were not swept away, but relief was managed pretty well. What has not been managed well is the rehabilitation. What has not been managed at all is what after that came out. That is the big question mark which is there, and now people are scared in the valley. And this I tell you from first-hand experience, where we want to talk, everywhere we go and talk, I'm at $1. Perhaps should go and see Tista Valley or Walli or even Singha. And then the river now, in fact just now, while coming up here, I noticed the river is bigger. Much bigger than what it was. It should not be, because we hardly had any rain over the winters. But what has happened is that the level of the Tista River bed has gone up by almost 5 meters. So the river is now flowing 5 meters higher than what it was. So the river is now flowing close to urban areas, which is why people are scared. Next, please. Okay, this is a part of this is Dr. Nima Lama from Siliguri University, and we were in Siliguri, in Tista Valley, taking interviews of people. This is what we've been doing for all the time that the clock. Next. Okay, this is Chota. Next, please. Okay, this is Chota. As I said, this is Lachen Chu. Okay. This is Lachung Chu. Okay. This is Chota. This is Chota here. The dam is here. This is a Google Earth photograph, right? The block came down this way. It hit the dam and it bounced back into this area. And so areas here also got submerged. Otherwise, only this area should have been affected. But this red area is the area which was totally damaged and totally buried by the crop. Okay. People from here and here, they went to these areas which are higher ground. So that's how they survived. Okay. This is Lachen Chu. The numerous number of bridges which collapsed here. The main bridge, which was the main bridge from the rest of Sikkim, from Mangan, etc., was a huge concrete bridge, double-lane concrete bridge. It collapsed here. Along with this, nobody really knows the time because it's occurred at 12:35 and it was raining, and the noise was so much with that block coming there that people they only found out the next morning. That evening nobody knew. So sometime during the night the dam went, along with these bridges, there was another bridge here, there was another bridge. You wanted to go, but this road here is totally gone. It is still not available. It is amazing that our troops, who are there in North Sikkim, they have to be now, even the ration food, etc. by air. Every day, if you are from Kalimpong, you'll hear aircraft flying over it, helicopters flying over it. The entire thing up there in North Sikkim, Lachen, Phangu area, which is right next to the Chinese border, is being maintained by air. Otherwise, you will have to go via this way. You will have to go via this way and go right up there. There's a place called Donkala Pass. Donkala Pass is 18,000 feet. Then you have to come back here to Lachen. So that is the way people are going. Otherwise, now, just now, yesterday, I keep track of what's happening on there. So they are now making this road. There is one hill which they have yet to cross. Otherwise, you can go by car to some area and then you have to walk that hill. Okay, next. Okay, next. Let's go to the okay, this is what I wanted to tell you. That this is the area which was. Can you go back to two stories? Okay, this is this area. That the next photograph is my photograph from in Chungtang, and this is this area, which is very far away from the dam. Okay, but you can see the damage which was there only by the ground. Okay, so people keep saying dam. Yes, the dam also added water. Okay, but this was a damage done by the graph only. Okay, it took down a whole lot of trees here. One thing which you have to go and see in Vista Valley is that you'll see that there are millions of trees all over the riverbeds. It was inside the dam. Anything there were trees. You know. So if you go to the dams, even stage 6, etc., it's was full of trees. Now they've removed. These are the trees which have come out from here. And the entire sand which has come out and now covers the valley are from here. Okay. Next. Okay, this is the dam drone photograph which we took. Okay. You can see this is Lachen Chu. This is Chungtang. The river, the graph came down this way. The dam was here. It hit the dam, it bounced back and went into this area. So this area was also damaged. Now this whole area is brown. It was green. There were parks, there were schools, etc. That entire area vanished in that way. Next, please. This is the Chungtang town again, if you can see. This is where the Chungtang had their stadium, Chungtang people. That stadium vanished. There was an army camp here. That camp vanished. People didn't die. Luckily, people didn't die because there was this same thing. People were being phoned saying, "Wala Bordez or Wala Bordez." Some people only ran away after the river came up to their knees. So it was as close as that. But people didn't die. They all went around here. Okay. Next, please. This is Chungtang again. My program. The whole area is covered with boulders. The whole area is full of sand. This is not sand. This is mud, sand, all rubbish. This is moraine maybe, which is also there. So this whole thing is Chungtang, and they were still removing it. They are still removing it. What they are doing all over the Teesta Valley is they are dumping this back into the river. Where else can they dump it? Okay, they are dumping this back into the river, so the river is getting more silt. So the level of the river is rising. Still, therefore, Teesta today was growing much closer to the urban areas than it was earlier. When we went in October or November. Now the Teesta river is far bigger than it was that time, even though there has been no rain. Because the level of the river has gone. Next. Okay, we can clear out through this. Yeah, okay. Please. Yeah. So, one of the major damage which was done was to the dams and infrastructure here. We were lucky to go and photograph these areas, despite the fact that, at many places we were actually not supposed to be there. But we did take photographs. I don't know whether you kids know what a run-of-the-river dam is. Do you know? Say yes or no, quickly. Run-of-the-river dam. Okay, run-of-the-river dam is when you have a dam, okay, you don't stop the water for long, okay. What you do is you allow the water to go sideways or from some side, okay. You allow the water to go and the water will go down further down, and the power station of this dam will be way down below somewhere. Okay, through tunnels the water is taken there. The power station is somewhere down there, and the generation of the power takes place down there. The dam is here, the power station is here. Okay, so this was the dam here, the stage 3 dam which was here. The Sikkim Urja 1200 megawatt dam. The power station was here. From here, the water used to come by tunnels up to here, and this is where the power station was. Okay. Similarly, this is stage 5 Dichu. Okay. Dichu is 510 megawatt dam. The dam was here. The power station was here. Okay. So this is what's been happening. But then we went to all these areas and took photographs. Okay. You see the photograph now. Yes, please. This is the stage 3 Sikkim Urja dam where they had their entire administrative block. The GM office, everything was here. This is what it looked like after the block. There was nothing left. Next, please. This is of course the dam where the dam was. Okay, here. And this big stone was put here. I don't know how what type of moss it must be there. You know. So this is our photograph, my photograph. This is the power station, as I said. This is the power station of Sikkim Urja dam. Okay. This is much lower. This is a place called Sankalan. This area was also flooded. There was a bridge here. That bridge is gone. Okay. This whole area, this power station is inside this mountain. It's amazing what human beings can do. But that power station is also totally damaged. Okay. Next. This is a photograph of Dichu dam. What they say in NHPC is that how much time have I got left? Vishal. Okay. This is the dam where the NHPC says was overtoppled. Overtoppled. That's a key issue. They say the dam goes, the water goes over the dam. Okay. People died. People died here in this dam as well as in Chungtang, but not many. People died, I think 2 to 3 people died here, and Chungtang also, very famous, one doctor died there. Here about 2 people died, okay. But then the water came down like this, look at the level of the water, and it went over the dam. These are the gates which were being opened. All the gates were open. We saw that all the gates were open, but the velocity of the water was so much that it went over the dam. Okay? And it went, but what NHPC says is that they say that our concrete dams were strong. Okay. What they say is that Chungtang dam was a stone and concrete dam which got destroyed, but all our other, that was not, by the way, NHPC dam. Sikkim Urja dam was not NHPC dam. So they say that our dams were concrete dams, those which took the entire property. This is the power station of Dichu. Okay, these are photographs which perhaps we only managed to take because we entered this with some passes and later on I found out that we were not supposed to be taking photographs. Anyway, next. This is again the same power station. You can see this huge equipment which has been damaged. This whole area, the water had come up to here. The bridge here was taken away. This is all in Singtang. This place called, this is in Singtang, close to a place where the stage 6 dam is. Stage 6 dam is at a place called Sirwani. Okay, this is a stage 6 dam in Sirwani Singa. So you can see the entire area, the whole thing is covered by wooden trees. Okay. Millions of trees have been brought down and covered this. There was a bridge here. Okay. That bridge was taken down. Okay. Now the people are using this road here, this thing here, to go from one part of Sikkim to the other. Next. Okay. Okay, this is Narkola. The power station of Stage 6 dam was being built here. The entire thing was flooded. You can see that these houses are all buried. Okay, this is a road photograph of this. Okay, the people who are doing this work were a group called Patel Engineering. They lost something like 200 crores here in this place. A bridge has gone here, big bridge, Tarpalava bridge. I think, okay, let's continue. Next please. Okay, this is the dam near Tista. This is the stage 3, TLDP3, Tista Low Dam Project 3. Okay, this has started generating power now. We just found out that last week. We had gone there. It has started generating power, but at reduced amounts. It is only generating 25% of the normal power that we used to generate, because the pondage, you will say pond, full of pond. Yeah, the sand there. That has been now filled up with sand, so the water is not much. So now the dam is generating power. All the 4 turbines are working, we found out, but it is only generating 25% of the power. So this is the damage to the dams. Next please. Okay. This is a bridge at Tum. This is connecting Tumtang, which is up, okay, and Mangan, which is the capital of North Sikkim. And we photographed this. They are all now, all the bridges are now like this. Were like this. Okay. This bridge went down with the block. Okay. This is a place called Tum. The road from Mangan to Tumtang goes here like this. It is a much better road. But we had to go via a long route, which was very, very steep and very, very dicey. Okay, this is the bridge. Go back. In place of this bridge, now they built this bridge. This bridge. Okay, this bridge is now what North Sikkim is using to go from Mangan district headquarters to Chungtang. Next. This is a bridge which was being built by the Lachen Pass. Lachen Pass, Lachen Comanche, their landlords there, I think so. That they were building this bridge across part of the Tista River or some tributary to go from Lachen to Hangu. Okay. Next. Right? Okay. Okay, I'll just go quickly. Okay, these are pictures. Okay, bye. Next, please. Okay. I know I'm running short of time. Okay, roads are a major casualty. Roads are tremendously damaged. In fact, just today, while coming up, I've got a photograph in my camera. We are not allowed to go use the NH10 to go down to Tista. We have to go via Lava. Okay, for people who understand this, what is happening is that Kalimpong is here. Okay, we normally go like this to Siliguri. Siliguri to Kalimpong is 67 kilometers. Okay, now this road here has been damaged, so we are told to go like this to Siliguri. Sikkim people are coming like this and coming like this and going like this to Siliguri. This road here has been damaged. Okay, this is the main place which is damaged, is a place called Likubir. Next, please. This is the Darjeeling road. It's interesting, absolutely interesting here, because I am saying that this road, the river everywhere, people are saying that politicians and people are mocking the local people and saying तिमीले घर यति छेउमा किन खोलाको छेउमा किन घर बनाएको? What the local people are saying, किन हामीले घरको खोलाको छेउमा घर बनाएको थिएनौँ, खोलामा हाम्रो घरको छेउमा आएर त yes, and it is true, 100% true. This is what happened here. This river, this Darjeeling road was way above. Now the river is flowing right next to it. So this is one of the very many impacts of the globalization movement.
It was great. It was great listening to you, sir. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Your expertise have been incredibly valuable and information. We pray for your good health. Our next speaker is Dr. Arindam Chaudhary. Dr. Arindam Chaudhary, an early career researcher, geoglaciologist, earned his PhD in geography from Northeastern Hindu University, Shillong, India. Currently a research associate at the Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, Dehradun. He specializes in physical geography, focusing on glacial geomorphology, climatology, hydrology, and remote sensing and GIS applications. His primary research delves into the complex dynamics of Himalayan glacial-lake interactions and associated geomorphological hazards in the face of climate change. Dr. Chaudhary's diverse interests extend to hydrochemistry and bathymetry studies of lakes and rivers. Actively contributing to the scientific community, is a life member and currently serves as the Vice President of the Young Geomorphologist Forum of the Indian Institute of Geomorphologists. In the past, he held a council member position in the Cryosphere Working Group at the Association of Polar's Early Career Scientists, Germany. His commitment is evident in publishing high-impact research articles in reputed journals and participating in conferences, workshops, summer schools worldwide. So far, he has traveled abroad to visit prominent universities and institutions in United Kingdom, Austria, Indonesia, Germany, Poland, the Czech Republic, and Nepal. He is also actively involved in advancing scientific discourse through the role of reviewer in reputed international journal as one of the IAG evaluation committee members for the ongoing photo and video contests in 2024. Prior to all this, he completed his post-graduation and bachelor's in geography from West Bengal State University campus, Kolkata, and Ananda Chandra College, Jalpaiguri, and the University of North Bengal, respectively. We are very glad to honor such an eminent scholar with us today. Now, may I have the privilege to invite Dr. Arindam Chaudhary. The topic for today's lecture is Trekking Glacier, Glacial Lake Changes and Hazards in Warming Sikkim Himalayas. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have applause for Dr. Arindam Chaudhary?
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say that my humble Dr. Sonam sir is there, Dr. Shah sir is there. Both of them used to teach us when I was at college and undergraduate college. So I know them from more than 20 years. Okay, straightforward, coming to the The previous speaker, Dr. Praful Rao, has said about the changes done by the recent block event, but I will mostly speak about why these changes is occurring nowadays in the era of climate warming in the eastern Himalayas or eastern Himalayas. So mostly these glaciers has changed its size and it has given rise to more and more glacial lakes in the entire Himalayas. So mostly I'll talk about that. And the third case studies, like I'll also speak about another group of lakes, glacial lakes, which is, I think everybody knows that the Gurdwamar lakes, and which we have published few papers about that. Like it's a kind of complex which is more cascading effect of the lakes can create another block event in this part of the Himalaya. So I'll speak about three case studies in this part. So, yes, sorry for the interruption. Like in between we have some power cut. So back to the slides again. So today I'll speak on the tracking glaciers and glacial lake changes and hazards in the warming Sikkim Himalaya. So I'll try to correlate the changes of the glaciers and the increasing of the glacial lakes along with that, and intertwining with the climate phenomena. What kind of scenario is going on? How the precipitation is going in static mode, and more warming scenario will come. So initially I have done this study when I was a PhD scholar in the Department of Geography in Northeastern University, and currently I am at Wadia Institute in the glaciological group, doing some another work in the Western Himalayas as well as in the Sikkim Himalayas. So today's talk, this is the first case study I will be speaking. The inventory and the dynamics of the glacier in the Chombuchu watershed, which is the northeastern part of the extreme northeastern part of the Sikkim Himalaya, And the second one is the glacial lake inventory, classification, evolution, and assessment of the outburst flood potential. Then third one is glacial hydrogeomorphic processes of the Gurdwama Lake complex in Sikkim. So while I have little bit explained about that, the best manifestation of the climate change is whether it is positive or negative. So sometimes the glaciers are advancing and sometimes the glaciers are retreating back. So both these processes are time dependent. It takes a lot of time. We cannot see through our human eye, and so the glacier play an important role as a response indicator of climate change. So you can see this is a glacier from Alaska Muir Glacier. It is filled with glaciated part. You can see this part is entirely filled with glacier in 1941. In 2004, after the Muir Glacier has retreated 12 kilometers back, and it has given rise to the Progressial Lake. Progressial lakes are the lakes which are connected to the present glaciation. And you can also see the glacier has thinned down and it has gone like into a deep Progressial lake, which is more than 800 meters. And this rising temperature has also intervening relationship with the glacier recession. So I have spoken about the glacial lake outburst. So and the glacial lake evolution. So as the glaciers goes it's eroded and it goes back, and in front of the glacier there is a lot of glacial lakes which are expanding at a huge rate, and this kind of glacial lake evolution in the high throughout the high mountain areas throughout the world. So glacial lake outburst floods are common in most of the highly glaciated part where the glacial retreat is being recorded everywhere. And what is glacial lake outburst flood? A rapid outburst of glacial lakes can cause a catastrophic flood, as it took place in Sikkim last year and 2013 in Kedarnath in Uttarakhand as well. So with the great erosive power, we have seen a wonderful pictures taken by the Dr. Praful Rao sir, and a lot of debris transport has been gone down into the lower part of the valleys in a shorter period of time. Like it has took place in last 3rd of October night, and it has gone within 24 hours. It has reached a huge rate. So what are the parameters? Why this kind of glacial lakes or outburst flood triggering factors are? So number one is rapid glacial melting, and all those meltwater increases the level of the lake, water level of the lake. And the next one is extreme rainfall. If there is an extreme event rainfall, cloudburst in the glaciated catchment or glaciarized catchment in the higher part of the Himalayas, like during this event, when this event took place last year, there was also some alarming of the Shakocho Lake in that part of the Thangu that is located in the Lhasa Valley, in the upper part of the Thangu. So there was a massive rainfall occurring during that time. And there was also in the news that Shakocho water level is increasing. So extreme rainfall is also one of the cause for increasing of the lake water level. Then shock waves produced by mass movements into the lakes, like rock falls, avalanches, landslides can take place. So this is the cause. South Lunak Lake, the lateral moraine slides down in the northwestern part, and as the water level always increase, sometimes due to the melting of the glacier, and sometimes it goes, sometimes it melts and it comes out of the valley, all the water. So there is a tendency of losing of the lateral moraine. So all those lateral moraine will be unconsolidated moraine. So it can go down or slide anytime. So this phenomena has occurred during the South Lunak Lake incident. So flood waves from the lake located upstream. So there are numerous lakes. One is at the bottom, another is the downstream. If the upstream lakes outburst, then obviously that the water will impact the downstream lakes as well. So it can create a huge impact. So I'll talk about in the future slides. Then ice calving, so there are a lot of ice calving events which can also impact. Earthquake piping, piping is that there are seepage of erosional process going on constantly from lot of time. It will create the dead moraines. There are dead ice moraines in the frontal part of the glaciation. So it always creates different kinds of pressure on the moraine. So all the moraine and the ice, it will go down and due to the erosional process. So slowly and steadily this piping will take place and it will also create an outburst. So there are basically two processes. One is piping, another is overflow of the water, glacial lake water from the dam. Then long-term triggering factors which I have already mentioned, the dead ice melting, hydrostatic pressure, erosional process of a moraine dam. So this is a research problem. We have found that response of a negative mass balance, we can see that this is a negative mass balance being observed in the frontal area of the recession that's supported by identifiable landforms. We can see that as the glacier is moving back due to the climate change processes, and we can see different kinds of landforms, associated landforms, like the increase of the moraines, and there will be a medial moraine in between. And numerous studies have conducted throughout the Hindu Kush Karakoram region, except only few is pointed out in the eastern Himalayan part. The Chombuchu watershed, containing a large retreating glacier and expanding lakes in Sikkim, is still being unrevealed until our study was done. So one of the most vulnerable areas of very fast deglaciation is eastern Himalayas. Why? You can see this graph. This is a very good paper. It is published in Current Science in 2014. Are the Himalayan glaciers retreating? So you can see that the Himalayan glaciers are retreating throughout the. This is the blue graph. You can see blue bar graph. You can see that in entire part it is retreating, but in Sikkim it is much higher than the other counterparts. But there is only some advancing phenomena taking place in the Karakoram. Like advancing means the glacier is advancing forward. There are several glaciers, surging glaciers, which is also called surging glaciers. Then there are many stable glaciers as well. And in terms of Sikkim, you can see that the number of glaciers are less stable than the other counterparts. So this is a very good paper published in Current Science long back. The previous studies have also reported by Simon and Volney from Switzerland that Gurudungmar lakes are considered as one of the potentially dangerous glacial lakes in the upper Tista River basin of Sikkim Himalaya, and further recommended for field studies. So what we have done in our study, therefore the physical based study will scientifically contribute to the understanding of the glacial lake relationship and in a changing environment in the region. So slowly, so this is the overall picture of the study area, I have focused during my PhD study. Like the Chombuchu watershed covers an area of 695 square kilometers. It's located in the northern district of Sikkim state. It lies between Jemu Basin in the western part and Changme Basin in the eastern part, this one, and the Chumbi Valley, that is the Tibetan part. So it is in between all three basins. So elevation ranging from the lowest part, so this is the flood comes from the South Lonak Lake, and this is the area where the Jemu Glacier, we can visit to the Jemu Glacier. So the lowest part is the Jema village. There is a village, Jema, near the Jema village. It is 2,680 meters above sea level, and up to the highest point is near the northeastern part, that is 7,073 meters above sea level, or located in the extreme northeastern part of the catchment. The study area is governed by two types of climate. I think many people have visited the Gurudungmar and in the North Sikkim. So you can see there is a different types of climatic phenomena. The higher reaches, I am talking about this part, the higher reaches is dominated by the cold semi-arid deserted climate, whereas the lower part is characterized by the temperate climate. I am talking about this part. So the climate of the Sikkim is influenced by a triple system, the mostly dominated by the Indian summer monsoon, that is the main source of the precipitation, and additionally receives occasional precipitation through the northwestern monsoon, leaving mostly in the winters. and there is hardly the western ghats phenomena taking place in this part of the Himalaya. So this is also extreme rain events frequently occur during the monsoon, resulting in the significant landslides and flooding in both Sikkim and Darjeeling Himalayas. We can see this is the climograph which we have published. This one, like you can see the long-term average temperature from 1960s to 2013. We see that the long-term temperature does not even exceed 10 degree centigrade, and highest precipitation occurring in July. So this is the first case study. So what are the data sources we have taken? We have taken the hexagon image, the hexagon KH9 image we have taken in 1975. That is the spy image during the World Wars. It's an American images. Like these images were also taken, and Landsat series like EM, thematic mapper, EM plus have taken. We have co-registered all the images with the recent image, that is Sentinel-2A in 2018. Then what we have done, we have changed the PN values to top of the atmosphere values, and finally the DOS method, dark object subtraction method, has been adopted for radiometric correction of each images. Then the glacier inventory mapping, I'm talking very briefly. The glacier boundaries have been manually delineated from KH9 micrometric image. So only one image is you can get from the KH9, that is the spy image I am talking about. So out of that, all the images are taken. One interesting thing is that end of the ablation period from November to December, when there is a minimal snow coverage and cloud coverage. So that is the best time to collect the pictures, that is the satellite images, download the images, and avoid, because we have to also take the vertical solar position to avoid the shadows, basically the northbound glaciers. So out of that, we have derived the contour map, slope map, aspect map, NDSI, NDWI, that is NDVI. Then field observations were carried out in 2017-18, and the threshold value for glacier mapping is more than 0.02 square kilometers, and manual mapping and check using the Google Earth platform has been taken. But there is a difference which we need to know, that clean glaciers can be manually, clean glaciers can be mapped by all these algebraic algorithms, NDSI, NDWI, NDVI, but as well as manual mapping is also required. But for the debris covered glacier, so these algorithms are not sufficient. So we need to do mostly the manual mapping for higher precision. So why this is, I will tell you in the coming slides. So these are the data sources and methodology. Again, step 3, mapping uncertainty has also been done. Like mapping uncertainty is very important for area changes. Then climate for man-candle test has been done for statistical trend analysis of the temperature and precipitation in the study region. Then field measurements were carried out with different kind of instruments. So this is waypoint tracking method through GPS. Then results and discussions, like this is the what we have done, like multi-criteria techniques has been employed for reliable glacier mapping. So that is for 2018 Sentinel images. We have taken the Sentinel images and SRTM DALE for deriving the morphometric parameters. So total glaciarized area was 44.8 plus minus 1.5 square kilometers in 2018. So we can see that there are 74 glaciers in that entire catchment, that is Tombuchu watershed. So also we can see that the histogram and the normal Q2 plot, this is the normal Q2 plot, we can see that the glacier area is does not normally distributed. Means why this is normally distributed? Because the largest glacier is 6.66 square kilometer. That is the Tista Khanse glacier. It is above Kangchung Lake, and the smallest glacier is 0.02. So there is in this catchment the glaciers are not normally distributed. So this is a special distribution map. What I was talking about, this is the Tista Khanse glacier number 1. You can see here. So this is the largest valley glacier, 6.6 square kilometer in the followed by Kanchenjunga 2, Chuma Khanse, and all these are the important glaciers in the entire catchment. So these black boxes are the field photographs or field geomorphological observations we have done. I'll come into in the coming slides. So this size was classified. Glacier distribution is the small glaciers are very dominant dominant in terms of numbers. That is 70% of the are dominant by small glaciers in the region, whereas the large glacier is dominant by 40%. That is more than 2 square kilometer glaciers. The mean elevation of the glacier size is relatively higher. You can see 5,598. So Sikkim Himalaya is more higher in terms of glaciers in the Sikkim Himalayas are more higher than the rest of the counter Himalayas, that is western and the central Himalayas. Mean slope of the glacier is 26 degree. So these are the scattered plots. What we can found that there is a relation between the glacier area and range, then glacier area and median elevation, glacier area and aspect. Aspect means whether the glaciers are northbound or westbound or eastbound or southbound. So this is the relation between that. It is clearly evident that the large glaciers have gentle slopes, then the other morphological types of glaciers. So this is the aspect wise. In this catchment particularly, you just memorize the catchment that in this catchment mostly those are the northern bound glaciers. Mostly those are northbound glaciers. And these northbound glaciers are oriented towards north and followed by south. So you can see these are this is the Rose diagram. So this is the morphological classification that very simple type glaciers are 40% dominated by 40% in the entire catchment, and glaciarized area, that is debris free, that is the clean glacier. There is no debris over the clean ice. So these are dominated more than 60%, and partially debris covered glacier is less than 40%. So this is the geomorphological observation. We can see this is the largest glacier, terminus PK, that is the Mr. Khanse glacier. In 2018 we have visited this place, and you can see that this is a large pro-glacial lake which has it has formed in the frontal part of the glacier, and it is still growing in size. So these lakes are more bigger than South Lonak lakes. South Lonak lake is 1.6, 1.332 or 4 in the present area. But these lakes are more bigger than the South Lonak lake. So so these are different kinds of morphological observations. This is Nishi glacier. So this is also a frozen Sholamo. I think everybody knows Sholamo lake. So this is the Shark glacier. So and this is an empty Shark glacier in the Lhasa Valley, is upper part of the Thangu, that part. Paleoshark. Paleoshark means these are it used to be glaciated earlier, but now this is not glaciarized. So this is the glacier area changes. It is very visible that in 1975 the glacier area was 62.6 square kilometer with uncertainty. This uncertainty is very important because this is carried out to precise mapping of the aerial changes. And it has reduced to 44.8 square kilometer in 2018. The 43 year of analysis we have done that one. And interestingly, we can see there are 10 red dots, that these are the extinct glaciers. Like these small glaciers are already extinct. These are no more now. So we can see from this spatial distribution that red marked glaciers are in 1975 and 2018 is marked in blue. So you can see the aerial changes of this Italy is visible. So how this Gurudungmar glacier is retreated back in a massive way. So these are the spatial distribution of some of the important glaciers. So Tista Khanse in 1975 with spy image, and in sentinel image in December 2018. So how it has retreated back. Then Gurudungmar Lake Complex. So these are we have referred it as Gurudungmar Lake Complex, as this is the mother Gurudungmar Lake, and this is the Gurudungmar Lake glacier, and this is Kanchenjunga glacier, Kanchenjunga 2 glacier. So this glacier is is going back, and the glacier, and in turn the glacier is moving, is moving back, and the lakes are increasing in size. So this is the comparative evolution of the glacier inventory in the study area, like why from the topo sheets we can see that misinterpretation due to the map scale limitations. Mostly the topo sheets, if we map the glaciers from the topo sheets, that all the topo sheets in 1960s, these topo sheets are mapped during the March and April. So during this part, this time, there is a seasonal snow covered area. So there is a misinterpretation when we see the GSI maps. Then EC mode also like associated problems with automated mapping. I'll come into this again in the second section. Many glaciers were not delineated in the watershed. If we look into the RGI version 6, so these are some of the glacier inventory which we can see. So in our present study, we can see that RGI, there in the western part of the Caspian, there is the glaciers were not mapped from the RGI. So we can see the differentiation here, comparative evolution of glacier inventory. So this is the climate variability I was talking about. You can see this is a long-term prediction, 1960s to 2013. We can see how the temperature is rising, and there is a static. So there will be like there is a static precipitation rate is going down. So this is the second study of glacier lake inventory and classification, evolution, and assessment of outburst flood in the same catchment. So we used more or less similar data sets, pre-processing techniques, and the glacier lake mapping and aerial volume changes, and final results for glacier lake mapping and area changes. We have also found the volume of the lakes through different empirical formulas of all the lakes, 98 lakes in the catchment. So this is the challenges I was talking about. Like we have seen that there is a misinterpretation of the glacial lake mapping when delineated from automated algorithm. Like this is the Bhuvan image, like from NRC Hyderabad. They have done that they have demarcated this part as glacial lake, but these are not the glacial lakes in reality. So when we visited to the places for several times, we see these are the marshy areas of the braided stream of the Chombuchu watershed. So field reality is very, very different when we map only from the satellite images. So everything that glitters from space is not always the glacial lakes. These lakes, these are the marshy pond areas near the braided Chombuchu. So this is the classification that morphological characteristics wise and lake dam wise. Morphological wise, proglacial lake, supraglacial lake, glacial lake turn, ice core lakes, and lake dam types, moraine dam lakes, bedrock dam lakes, combined dam lakes, and ice dam lakes. So these are the different types of lakes on the basis of two approaches we have done also in the study. So this is the identification of the potentially dangerous glacial lakes. Not only South Munnar was also in the list of our analysis, but we found that several other lakes are also very, very dangerous. Like in the previous study from the Swiss, that is Orny, Rafael Orny, and we have also from Agarwal et al. Then and our paper also we have found several lakes are more dangerous. So these are the parameters: glacial or hydrological characteristics, glacial lake area, then lake area increase, lake volume, morphological lake types, glacier calving processes, whether the glacier is calving or not, then glacial lake distance, what is the distance from the mother glacier, the connection of series of lakes, whether there is only one lake or several other lakes are also influencing the downstream lakes, then drainage type, whether it is closed or open, then dam characteristics, the lake dam types, whether it's moraine dam lakes and ice dam lakes are much more dangerous. You can see the color, reds are more dangerous, yellow is medium risk and blue is less risk. And so another thing is freeboard level. Freeboard level means what is the dam height, moraine dam height. So if the moraine dam height is less than 5 meters, then those lakes are more dangerous for outbursts. So distal slope, if the slope is more than 20 degree, then it is more dangerous. So these are some of the results sections. Like histogram and QQ plot also normally is not normally distributed because highest glacial lake is 1.8 and the lowest one is 0.02. sorry, 0.001 square kilometer. So the total lake area is 11.4 in 2018, and this is the inventory. Again, we can see that this is the lake area, all the 98 lakes in the region. Khamchung Lake is the largest lake. It is more than 1.8, that is more than South Lunak Lake area. Then GL3, GL1 and GL3, we have termed as GL3, the Gurudungmar Lake Complex, and Sholam. So the size was classification. I am skipping this again. These are all related to the glacial glaciers, because all the glaciers are connected to the glacial lakes. So there is similar things like it is not bound itself. So lake area changes and uncertainty. See, you can see that in 1975 the lake area was 8.5 and it has increased to 11.4. So we have also seen that after 2010 to 2018, we have seen there is the highest rate of change of glacial lake. This is also published in Taylor and Francis from London. The time series of the important lakes in the lake area change mapping from 1943 year of analysis, we can see that this Gurudungmar Lake Complex is increasing in very high rate, especially the GL3. And this is Shakocho Lake, which is in media as well. So there is a lake volume that is also increasing. The total lake volume of all those 98 lakes is 408.1 in 10 to the power 6 meter cube. Huge volume of lake is there. So this is the potentially dangerous glacial lake estimation. So out of all 98 lakes, 5 are at high risk. You can see that red dots, these are the 5 dots, and interestingly, the Khamchung Lake is not so dangerous because it is a flat bed, and so it is in the medium risk. So in medium risk there are 17 lakes and low risk is 5 lakes. So this is the geomorphological observations. You can see Khamchung Sho is also lake. Sho is also lake in Tibetan language, and it has open drainage type, that is Sholam. If there is a lake, I have already discussed that if it is open drainage, then it is not so vulnerable. If it is closed and bounded by the moraine dam, so it is more vulnerable for outburst. So this is, you can see, this is massive calving process is taking place when we went to this more than 5,000 meters above sea level. This is above the Gurudungmar Lake. When we go to the Gurudungmar Lake, we cannot see all the lakes above. We can see those lakes. We cannot see. We only see through if we go to that particular place, or we can see through satellite images or solar images. So this is the rock or fall zones, which can also trigger. This is the climate relationship between glacial lake and changes. We can see this is the red part, that as the temperature is rising, the lake level is also increasing, the green one, and this is the glacier size is also decreasing. So there is an interrelationship between the glacial lakes and climate. This is the last part, that is the glacial hydrological process of the Gurudungmar Lake Complex. This is the last case study. This is also published in Water from Switzerland. Like data sources and pre-processing, we have taken the similar type of data, but only we have taken another data, that is corona image, that is also declassified image from 1962. We have enhanced the study period from 43 years of analysis to 56 years of analysis for particular Gurudungmar Lake Complex evolution. So we have taken, I'm not going to explain again this one because we have only taken this 1962, added this image into our study and similar methods. But for volume estimation, I have said that we have taken these 3 formulas. Google has done this is a very important formula for lake volume estimation in Swiss Alps. So we have taken this formula, and we have also taken one formula from Central Himalaya and Sharma. This is for South Lunak Lake volume estimation. So we have combined these 3 formulas and taken out the mean out of that for more greater accuracy. So this is the assessment of the lake outburst stability. We have taken 3 method papers from Wang, MR, and Bilimic. Professor Bilimic is from Charles, who is also my collaborator, and the method 3 is rounds. See, I was talking about the Gurudungmar lakes. So Gurudungmar Lake, everybody knows there are there are two bigger lakes which are more than 1.25 square kilometers, more than 1.25 square kilometers in length. But this particularly GL4 is relatively smaller and it has formed after 2000. So this is a combined dam lake type GL1, and I'm talking about the lake dam approaches. Then upper one, that is GL2 and GL3, are typically frontal moraine dam, which are more dangerous, and combination of bedrock and lateral moraine, this is GL4. So we can see these are the visual scenario. After when we went to the field, we see that how the lakes looks like. So there are many kind of scree, then these zones are very dangerous. It can also impact to the lake, and it can create an impulse wave for outburst of the lake. The lake has changed. The lake has changed. The spatio-temporal changes of the GLC. We can see that three combination of the lakes, how these lakes has changed from 1962 to 2018. So the combined lake area was only 2 square kilometers in 1962, and it has changed to 2.1 in 1975, and slowly it has increased to 3.5 in 2018. So why I was saying that if this lake is very dangerous, and if this GL3 will outburst, it will definitely impact the GL1, that is the present Gurudongma Lake complex. So this could give rise to more volume of water, and it could impact to the downstream. So this is the spatio-temporal changes of GLC. We can see the GL3. I have pointed out how it has changed in the due course of 56 years of analysis. So comparison of the PDGL, we have compared the GL3 with rest of the very dangerous lakes in the eastern Himalayas. So everybody have heard about Inja Lake, Sorolpa, Lamling, and then Longwasa in the central Himalayas, and then the South Lunak Lake, or mostly the GLC came at a similar pace of 0.026 square kilometer per annum. In this fashion, it is increasing every year. So, so this is also very dangerous, one of the dangerous lakes in Sikkim. So glacial lake volume estimation, we can see that the volume estimation out of these formulas, we can see that 49.89 square kilometer volume for GL1, and GL2 is 41, and GL3 is 55, which is the highest, which can impact the downstream lake, that is GL1. So combination all four lakes combined 148 meter cube into 10 to the power 6. So it is a huge volume, more than South Lunak Lake water volume. So this is the outburst susceptibility method. We have used this three papers. We have observed parameters are from this one that is mother glacier area, distance between lake and glacial terminus. Then slope between lake and glacier, mean slope of the moraine dam, mother glacier's now thickness, and for MR and Willinick. So this is the dam freeboard. So these are all the parameters we have found after getting all the results from our study. So we can see that Gurudongma Lake Complex is described as a cascading system, that is Paternoster Lake system. This terminology is given in the Glacier Atlas. So this is the susceptibility result, final result. We are coming to the end of the slides. So from the method 1, we can see that GL4 is dangerous, and from method 3, we can see that this is GL2 and GL3 is very high rate for outburst, and method 2 is GL3 out of 5 is more dangerous. So overall, hence there is a very high potential for the whole complex of the outburst with sudden failure of the moraine dams located upstream. So it's a cascading effect can take place. This kind of study was done by us first time in Himalaya, but previously this kind of study was done in Chile in South America. So summary and scope of future research. So from the first case study, we found that 74 glaciers were demarcated, out of that is 44.8 square kilometer, and 63% of the total glacier area. Mean glacier changes, that is mean glacier area of the watershed stands for 0.61 square kilometer. Dominance of small size glaciers. Glacier changes, that is this catchment only 17.9 square kilometer of the glacier, that is 28.5 square, 28.5% glacier is changed, is being retreated. So overall rate of the glacier loss is 0.42 square kilometer per annum. Hence the glacier of the Sikkim, that is, I want to point it in quotation that Sikkim are retreating at a higher rate than the counterparts to the other parts, that is central and eastern Himalayas. So this is the second part of the second results of the final summary of the case study. On number 2, there is the results section. The results of the lake analysis comprise 98 lakes in total from between 43 years of analysis. There is 11.4 and expanded at 34.6. Advancing rate means the lake development rate is much more than the other part of the Himalayas, and majority of the lake terminating glaciers play a significant role in the aerial expansion, enhancing by melting and calving as a result of faster heat transfer. So faster heat transfer means the lake water is growing, means it is more means it is above temperature, like it is when we measure the temperature of the lakes like 4 degree, 5 degree of water than the glacier. So the susceptibility results also found that 5 have been status as the high outburst, 17 as the medium, and 5 as the low. So these are final results, final summary of case study 3. That is spatio-temporal change of the total lake area in GL3 is 74% with an expansion rate of 1.31 per annum. And among the development of the GLC is inconsistent throughout the different time frames. Among all the 4 lakes, GL3 showed a considerable rate of change. In the other 3 lakes, huge water storage, that is 148 meter cube into 10 to the power, indicating a possible development of drought hazard scenario in the valley, as it also shared the common catchment in the lower part below Jema village. It flows from the Chuthang and same village. Outburst of the susceptibility whole complex is very potentially very high. And we are also studying the modeling part of that. It is under review in Journal of Hydrology. So if those complex is going to outburst, how it is going to affect, and I did not show it here because it is under review, that we also got the similar flood height with the South Lonak Lake, so almost 50 to 70 flood height. So these are the significant research outcomes. This is the first case study which is published in Earth System Science data with impact factor 12.88, and this is the second case study which this is the second case study I have discussed. This is the third case study which is published. So these are some of the research in TV, print media, in our research in TV, print media, social media, and warning signs in after the event of South Lonak Lake. So this is thank you for giving me time and opportunity to meet up again. So I also acknowledge my supervisors during my PhD time, Professor Sunil Kumar Dev, Dr. Sharma, and the Forest and Environment Department, Government of Sikkim, for carrying out the field trips multiple times in Sikkim. Sincere thanks to Ian Harris, University of East Anglia, and Professor from Charles. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight. It was really informative. DLR Prana is an NGO based out Darjeeling that works on varied community-based programs in Darjeeling. And DLR Prana has been kind enough to provide some of the photographs of the last flood at Tista River Valley, and they have displayed the photographs outside the auditorium. The students can have a look. Now we will have a lunch break for about 30 minutes, and we've arranged a small refreshment for the students. You can go outside the auditorium, and teachers, please join us for lunch in this